this one record. So this masterclass is called Managing Uncontrollable Thoughts. And we will come to thoughts and action and what does it mean. And before that, let's just all of us do some bit of grounding. So if you can just be with me, just hear me and follow my words and just sit back and close your eyes. Just sit back and close your eyes and focus on your breath. Try to focus on your breath and observe the surface that you're sitting on. Observe the noises of your background and keep breathing. As you breathe in, breathe into the center of your body. Wherever you feel your center is, get in touch with the center of your body. And open your heart to receive whatever you are supposed to receive from this session today. Just open your mind, your heart, your body to receive the guidance of all your ancestors, all the divine forces, all the higher forces that are here to guide you, to help you, to, take you closer to your answers. So just be open to receive whatever you are here to receive, beyond right and wrong, beyond good and bad. And keep that intention in your heart, in your space. Drop all judgments, open yourself. And slowly focus on your breath again. Try to open your mouth a little and make a sound while you exhale. And slowly, you can come back to the here and now, and you can open your eyes. Okay. How do you feel? Can you maybe just type down a word in the chat? How do you feel? Karin says, good, relaxed. Okay. A bit more focused. Great, great. Thank you. So I'm going to begin with something called the triangle of choice, thought, and action. Okay. And if you have a notebook and a pen, that would be nice. And if you don't, it's okay. You can just follow and you'll understand. Okay. So requesting you to draw something like this. Okay. You can see this. So just draw a triangle. Okay. The center, the top of the triangle, just name it choice. Okay. This part, the left side, it will be thought. And this will be action or outcome. Okay. So if you don't have a pen and a paper, just have this mental image of a triangle, okay, where you have choice, where you have thought, and where you have action or result or outcome. Okay. And just tell me, just look at that triangle. Okay. Look at that triangle and look at thoughts, look at action, and tell me, according to you, okay, according to all of you, think, take 1 minute. Tell me, where does choice come in? Does it come before thought? Does it come after thought? Does it come after action? When does choice for you experientially in your life, where does it come in? And where do you think there is choice? Okay, so let me make it easier. Okay, first of all, tell me what according to you is the right thing. Okay, where does choice actually come in? Does it come in before thought? Does it come in after thought? Or does it come in after action? What's your answer? What according to you is the right answer? And you can take your time. Okay, Shreya says after thought. Okay. I want answers from all of you. I'm gonna wait.
Excuse me, Shruti, can you
Yes.
just repeat 3 triangles? I was a bit away. Choice, thought, and action.
Yeah, who is this? And can you
This is
rename it?
Noor.
Yeah,
This is Noor.
Noor.
From
Okay,
Dubai.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, okay, Noor. So yeah, the triangle is the triangle of choice, thought, and so can you see this?
Yes. The last one is choice, thought, and
The last one is action or outcome or
action.
result, whatever you want to name it.
All right. Thank you so much.
No problem, no problem. And now, Noor, you can also answer the question, where do you think, look at the triangle and tell me, where do you think choice comes in? Does it come after thought? Does it come after action? Before thought? Okay, so Disha says after thought, Aprajita says after thought.
After thought. First is thought, then comes the choice. And then comes the result.
Okay, so according to Noor also it is after thought. Okay.
It depends on how what is your state of awareness that time. See, if I'm unaware, I make random choices or there is no order at all. If I am aware of what is the state in which I am, can choose whether to bring the thought first or action first or choice first.
Okay, that makes sense. But I want you to think, Aparna, that where does the where does the law of the universe and what do you think about the right answer here? Okay, where does it come? Say your awareness is there. Okay, say you are aware, and at that time, ideally, where does a choice come in? If you are aware, then when will it come in? Will it come in before thought or after action?
If I am fully aware, it comes after thought.
It comes after.
Yeah, okay. But sometimes that is also like influenced. I think something but I have to choose something else.
That's true. That's true. But it comes after thinking, right? Yes. According to you as well. Okay. Okay. Right. Yeah. So Kareen also says thought first and then choice. Okay. Great. So all of you already tend to know where does choice come in. Okay. Even like Aprajita said, even if sometimes we are not able to exercise it at that point of time, sometimes we act and then we think about why did we act this way, and we could have chosen something else, and that is okay. However, all of us here, we know that the choice comes in after thought, and it depends on our state of awareness and our frequency and emotional availability to ourselves. That will define whether I can make a choice, a conscious choice after my thought or after my action. Sometimes we act in certain ways and then we reflect on what happened. Okay. So there is a choice that comes in even after action. And that will happen when we can reflect on what has happened. Okay. However, choice is given to us by default after thought. Okay. So all of you here tend to agree that that doesn't happen before thought. We don't have any choice before thought, right? All of you tend to agree. So tell me, how many of you judge yourself for the kind of thoughts that you have? Just because of the kind of thoughts you have. Forget action. How many of you judge yourselves for the kind of thinking you have around anything? You know, brain can go give us anything, right? Logical, illogical, everything.
It can come from surroundings also, the choice you make. You need not think and make a choice. Whatever, see, if for example, if you are going to a hotel, you have to make and you want to make a choice of the food you want, but that is not available. You go with what you have there.
So, Aparna, I will come to this after some time. Okay. Right now, if you can follow the rhythm with everybody, and I will come to you at the end and we will talk about this. Okay. Does that sound good to you? Okay. Great. Thank you.
I don't judge my thoughts, but when it comes to action, then only I try. Sometimes I judge, but usually thoughts, different thoughts come. I don't know how many thousand thoughts come every day, so I don't judge them.
Okay.
Only while doing an action, then only I just think like, oh, okay, it's right or wrong. Or sometimes it happens without even thinking.
Okay. Okay. So you judge yourself for your actions and not for your thoughts. That's fine. Shreya says, I judge myself for my thoughts as well as actions. Kareen says, I judge my thoughts. Disha says, I judge. So for all of you who do judge for whatever you think, are you now aware that the thought that you have is coming beyond control, that you don't have control, and the choice comes in after thought? You yourself have answered that question, right? That there is a choice only after the thought has entered your realm. And it's not like you could control the thought that you have had. Okay. So all the energy that you invest in judging yourself for your thinking is an absolute waste of energy, for lack of better word. You know, it's like if I am able to harness that energy into something else, I can feel a lot different than how I feel when I judge myself because of my thinking. Okay. And the same goes with even actions sometimes. Okay. Sometimes we are acting from a space where we did not know how to act better than that. And then we think and then we judge. So the idea is to understand that if I judge myself for my thinking, I will never be able to change my thinking. So I want all of you to know that who are here to manage your uncontrollable thoughts and to also, you know, transform it into the kind of thinking you want to have. To be able to do that, you first have to understand that if you judge yourself for your thinking, this will not happen. That judgment, it keeps coming back and we are entered into the same loop again and again. Okay. So is it okay for all of you to simply drop judgment for the kind of thinking that you have had? For anything, anyone, any topic, can you just drop judgment for the thinking you have had? Are you willing right now? And then I will help you do that. But just tell me, are you willing? Can you do that for yourself right now? Yeah? Okay. So mentally, just tell with me, okay? Whatever I'm saying right now, just go with me and just tell this mentally to yourself that all the thoughts that I have had in this life up till now, for anyone or anything, I drop judgment for all of them 100% in this moment. Right or wrong, good or bad, pot or pock, all 9 shorts, boys and beyonds. And you breathe in and just exhale out this judgment. and do this once again. How does it feel to drop judgments for your thinking? Feels light even in this moment to me, that because every time I go into this judgment of why am I thinking like this, why can't I, yeah, more at ease, why can't I think better? The thing is, I can think better, but not when I judge myself for my thoughts. I can't, because when I judge myself, I am in the frequency of judgment and everything will happen from that frequency. Okay. So the first thing is to slow it down. We want a very fast outcome, when we say that we want to manage something and change something, we think the solution is something very fast, okay? However, the solution is pretty slow and pretty simple, actually, okay? The slowing part is to just look at yourself first and see what's happening with you with some compassion, okay? Some compassion. If the topic is uncontrollable thoughts, okay, think about it. If it is uncontrollable, how can you judge yourself for something which is uncontrollable? And the more you judge, you just keep going into the same pattern again and again, okay? So all of us who are here in this space, in this class, all of us somewhere struggle with uncontrollable thoughts. That's why we are here, okay? And the thing is, if it is uncontrollable, the first thing is, even if there are point of views around, even if there are judgments around, because we live in a certain social structure, we live in a certain setup, and it is influenced by the kind of families we have come from, the kind of environments that we have come from. However, that doesn't mean that I need to judge myself for something that is uncontrollable for me. Okay, someone else is not understanding, or maybe someone else is outrightly judging me on my face. Now, that is something that they need to look at. I don't have to buy everything that everyone is saying and feeling. Okay. So I can be compassionate towards my own experience when I don't depend on others for validation of my experience. I know that I'm going through this and I need to take stand for whatever I'm going through. And the best way of taking a stand is not being strict, guys. No. When we say take a stand, it doesn't mean that you have to be strict and be harsh to yourself. Taking a stand means I own my experience, I drop judgment for it, I am compassionate for it, and from that point, you will start beginning some shift in your life. Some shift will begin in your life. Okay. The more I give in to what others are saying or how I keep discounting my own experience, that will not help. That will not help. Okay. So the first thing is to understand it is beyond judgment. Whatever thoughts I have, I just have them. And when we drop judgment, we get the capacity, we get the choice actually. So Noor was saying something very interesting, that she doesn't judge her thoughts, but she does judge her action. Okay. So what happens is sometimes we don't see this choice that comes between thought and action. Okay. It's very fast. It's like something so fast that our body remembers. It just happens. There are certain things that, we don't know that what thought came and then what did I choose. It's not so straight. It just happens. We take the action and then we start judging ourselves. What have I done? Why did I do this? I could have done this better, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So those points where we start judging for ourselves for our action, we have created no space for any change in the next time. Okay. The idea is to look at what happened, Why did I do this? So, Noor, for you, the question is, you need to question yourself, why did I do this? What were my thoughts behind it? What was my choice exactly? And try to slow down your own experience for yourself so that you can become aware of your thoughts, because technically every action is governed by some thought and some reasoning, even if we don't know, and we don't see it. But every outcome, every action is coming from a reasoning and some thought chain before that. Okay. So if you reflect, sometimes we are very sad and aggressive and very emotionally low, and we act. Okay. We act. We don't realize. Now, when we come back to that normalcy and center, we can ask ourselves, okay, I did this, or something happened. Why did I do this exactly? And not from the space of judgment. I'm repeating this maybe again and again because this is the core that I want to give all of you from this class today. That if you judge, you will not be able to reflect or change anything. Nothing will change. So
Very
the
good point.
whole,
Very
yeah,
good point.
yeah, this was Noor. Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Very good.
Thank you, Noor. And this is literally the two questions you need to ask yourself, and not from judgment, just from compassion. Okay. And this is a question for all of you. Whenever you feel that, I don't know why did I act like this. There are so many times when we don't exactly know why we act the way we do. Okay. But then we end up judging ourselves because we don't know why we acted the way we did. Okay. So the idea is to drop that judgment, understand that this is a human, this is something which is human, and it's not something which is inhuman that is happening with all of us, right? It's something very human. It's something that all of us go through, but the ones who are here in this space, they actually realize this and they want to make a change. That's why we are here, all of us. Okay. So the idea is to simply bring compassion for the things that don't go your way. We have a tendency to only focus on the things that go our way. Okay. And things that don't go our way, we finally somehow end up judging something about it. Okay. So please understand that the more we try to reflect instead of judge, we will be able to make better decisions the next time. Okay. Now, for example, if if few days ago, I found myself being very aggressive in a situation. Okay. I became very aggressive, and I didn't know what brought out that aggression at that time. However, in the evening, I literally asked myself, what happened at that time? What was I thinking? What led me to make that kind of a choice? And what could I have done better, maybe? Now, all of this, it automatically started coming to me because I was not judging myself for being aggressive. We are human beings and we are here to live all emotions, okay? Please make peace with it. Please make peace with it. We are here not only to smile and be happy all the time. No, we are not here to just do that. And we are not here to just please or, abide by some rules. That's not how the human being works. Okay. We are highly emotional, and we constantly try to shut emotion by logic. That's what the brain does. Okay, whatever intense emotion tries to come up, we try to put some logic and it shuts down, right? However, that's not how we will be able to change anything or have peace. No, that won't happen. Just make peace with all the emotions that are possibly there in the realm of being a human. Okay, it includes peace, fear, restlessness, helplessness, loneliness, anxiety, joy, grief. I don't know, we can go on. Okay. And we are blessed and we are enriched with all these emotions. Okay. So every time something of that sort comes up, okay, maybe it's not socially accepted and validated. but I need to create a small space within me where I understand that it's okay to embody your emotions sometimes. It actually tells us the intensity and the connection of being a human. Okay. And it's okay. So every time you judge yourself for being intense, can you drop it now? I would like to call it intense. Okay. Whatever emotion it is, it can be individual for each one of you. But it is a level of intensity that all of us go through in those times, right? So can you please honor your intensity whenever it comes up and just drop judgment around it so that you can reflect later on, so that you don't have to avoid or keep it under the rug or just don't think about it. Okay, that's not how we will be able to uh, find that peace or manage that thinking. Okay, so making peace with this part of you is very, very important. Okay, so tell me, up till now, do you have any question? Just raise your hand, maybe, if you have any question. Anyone?
Shruti, I have a question. Like
Yes.
sometimes we are of without any reason we feel sad. There's no reason at all, no obvious reason.
Yeah.
Just there's a sad feeling.
Hmm.
So, and what do we name that feeling? Where would it be coming from? Because nothing has happened. All of a sudden you feel little, your mood, gets a little low. You feel
Yeah.
sad. There is sadness, there is the gloominess for no reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you give a name to that feeling?
So, why do you want to give it a name? Tell me how does it bother
And
you?
why does it come? It doesn't bother me, but I'm sometimes
Okay.
surprised. It's for a while, and then
Yeah.
you feel, why did I feel like that? There was no reason for it.
Okay. Okay. So okay. So it's a sad, gloomy feeling that comes and goes for you, and you
Sometimes,
want to. Okay.
sometimes
Sometimes.
only.
Yeah. Yeah. So you can simply ask, what is leading me to feel this? And you need to ask it from a space where you don't judge this experience at all. Okay. You need to tell yourself, literally tell yourself, that it is okay that I feel sad sometimes and I have no reason for it until now. And you can also tap sometimes. I don't know. Do you know how to tap, Noor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
you can also tap on it sometimes, like, like even though
Yeah.
I feel
EFT.
sad sometimes, I still choose to, and I don't know why. Okay. So you can add the line, I don't know why. Sometimes we need to honor our experience, and that will automatically bring insight and awareness, and you will start getting your answers. Okay. But first of all, simply try to embrace what's happening, tap on it, and integrate that part, and ask one simple question, that I honor and accept this experience, and I want to simply know, I'm curious. Become curious about your lives. Okay, become curious instead of judging, and maybe why this happens, or why this does not happen. If we become curious about whatever experiences we have, like the one, Noor, you are mentioning, okay, you can actually bring in some curiosity instead of that. When we are sad, we ask the question from a sad space itself. That happens with me, at least, that when I'm sad, I'm actually becoming sad when I'm asking also. So we need to kind of break that. Okay, we need to honor that experience, and we need to become really curious, and we have to ask from that space, and that is where that awareness will come. Okay, make sense?
Yes, yes, it makes a lot of sense. You come out of that emotion and you look at it from above or from, overview, like why this is happening. You are not in
Yeah.
that emotion, you're out of the emotion and
Yeah, a
trying
little
to,
distance, a
uh,
little
try,
distance.
Can you explain this with
trying,
an example? How do we get into a neutral space and start being curious? Any example, anyone from your own.
Okay, this was Aparna, right?
Yes, yes, Aparna. So if, say,
Okay.
for example, if I am caught in a situation where I start judging, how to go back to a space which is more neutral than the judge space, and then
Okay.
start getting curious. See, it's that judge captures you and holds you like anything, right? How to,
Totally,
yes,
totally.
yeah.
So the easiest way, I'm going to tell you the easiest way is focusing on your breath. Okay.
Okay.
Start focusing on your breath at that time, no matter what. And even after some time, like, sometimes it takes us few minutes or maybe an hour or two to actually, depending on the kind of experience we are having, it takes us some time to be able to come to that space of willingness to change it. Okay. So whenever that space comes, you start breathing, focusing on your breath helps you to connect back to your body. It brings safety in your body, and it actually raises the frequency from wherever we were. It raises that frequency. It slowly can bring you back to your center. That is the most easiest way of coming to the space of center, where you can actually ask without judgment. Sometimes you can simply say this, that I drop judgment. No matter what I am going through right now, I am not going to judge myself. Sometimes saying that thing mentally also helps. Okay. Just like we did right now, about dropping judgments for thoughts. And just like that, if you can tell yourself that I drop judgment for this, even though I'm feeling sad, and then slowly focus on your breath. Okay. Like, this is the most simple and most effective tool. Okay.
Thank you.
Most welcome. Okay, Shreya. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Most welcome.
So sometimes it happens that there is a base thought, I don't get time to reflect on it, and as a result of which there are series of actions which I take place, which I take, and then after when I start reflecting, it's like okay, 50% of it were right, but the rest were wrong, which makes me feel more anxiety. So I just want to say that in certain situation, I don't even get time to think like whether I have done it right or wrong, and then because of one wrong thing, there are many things. Like consequent things happen which later makes me feel more anxiety and sad kind of thing, like if it is done wrong by me. I'm not
Okay.
sure if I'm able to explain, but
No, I understand. I completely understand. In fact, I would say that there's a masterclass, Shreya, that I did on how to reflect. So when we are taking a series of actions and when maybe it is a lot to handle. So what I'm understanding is it's a lot to handle, and even reflecting gives me anxiety, right?
yeah.
So all of that is happening from a space of a lot of discomfort. And so there is a way in which you can reflect. Okay, there's a way in which you can reflect, and I will share that link with you. Okay.
Sure.
It's about, I'll share it with all of you. It's about how to reflect post you are out of it. Once you have taken the actions maybe, but then you want to reflect in a wise way so that there is a chance for some change, right? So to be able to do that, we need to really have space within. It's not about time. Okay. If you are able to do it without anxiety, you might be able to do it. You won't bother about time. Okay. It's because we feel anxious and restless, we try to avoid such reflections. Okay. We try to just get away from all the feelings that will cause me discomfort, right?
Yes.
However, when we know how to do that, okay, sometimes we can work with a coach, we can work with someone professional. However, it is always about having that inner space and not about time. Time will simply figure itself out. It is something that will take care of itself. If I have the space, I will want to do something and I will make time for it.
Got it.
Okay. So I will definitely share that link. It is all about how to reflect, and you will get an insight from it. You can ask questions later on with me if you feel you get anything from that. Okay.
Sure.
But it will help you. There are some tools, it will help you on how to reflect.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Great. Anyone else? Any questions? No? Okay. So we spoke about two kinds of choices. Okay. One is the one where we know that where it essentially comes, okay, that comes after thought. And most of us, we experience certain situations where we are unable to exercise choice at that time. And we realize only after action or something happens, and then we realize that, you know, I have done something. And then the choice that comes in is the choice to reflect and the choice to see how I can bring change that is good for me, my body, and my experience of life. Okay. So that is the kind of choice that comes after taking action. Okay. Where we can reflect, we can understand, and we can see where we come from. And that can happen when we come from a space of curiosity, not from judgment. You can only reflect from a space of curiosity and willingness to know deeper about where you come from and why something is happening. When we judge, we are not going to reflect. Okay. So that is the kind of choice we spoke about that comes after action or outcome. Okay. And what happens, I want to just bring this out. What happens when we are unable to look at the choice between thought and action? Like Shreya mentioned about taking a series of actions, but not exactly knowing where did I make this choice? Why did I make this choice? So this kind of choice is actually a compulsive choice. Okay. It is not a conscious choice. So this is where there is a difference between compulsive choices and conscious choices. However, we are not here to judge either of them. Compulsive doesn't mean that I have to judge it. It simply describes the nature of the choice. Okay. It simply describes that, yes, it is as if the feeling is as if I am doing it out of some compulsion, as if I don't even see at what I am choosing and I'm choosing it and I'm going ahead with it. So it's kind of a compulsion, an impulse in my body. Okay. An impulse that just takes over and I don't know where it came from. So the nature of this choice is a compulsive choice. Okay. And we all in this space, all of us here, we really need to bring some compassion for these compulsions and for these choices that we make. Okay. It is not happening because we are good or bad, or we are right or wrong, or we are good people or bad people, or somebody else is good or bad. No, we need to simply understand that it is a nature of choice, that is, it's an impulse that is in my body, in my system, and I can be curious about this impulse. Okay, I can understand where it comes from and I can transform it into a conscious one. And the more we transform such choices into conscious choices, our life automatically changes in the external world as well. Okay. So the idea is to look at what are the compulsive choices that I'm taking, meaning the choices that I don't see, I simply act on them. That's how they look like. And then what are my conscious choices where I can actually look at my thinking and make a choice as if, you know, I have maybe I'm planning for a trip. So I will look at everything. I will see which place suits me better. And then I will make a choice. Now that can be a conscious choice, right? And there are certain things where we don't know what the chain of thinking is. Okay. But everything by default has a thinking pattern. Okay. And every compulsive choice comes from some thinking behind it, some reasoning behind it. And it is not any wrongness of you. Okay. We try to bring everything to the point of whether this makes me right or wrong. Okay. Whether this tells something about how wrong I am or the wrongness of me. The more we come from that space, the more we go into that space. Okay. Everything is happening in a way where I am almost like an observer. Think of yourself as an observer. Okay. Because there are times when you act and you don't know why you acted the way you acted. Okay. Don't exactly understand. However, if you are judging yourself and if you don't know that what is compulsive choice, where does it come from, try to educate yourself a little bit more about your body, about your actions, about why you think the way you think. That is the best education we can give to ourselves. That's what I personally feel. Okay, because thoughts are something that we deal with every day. There are 60,000 thoughts that we deal with every day, even if we don't know. So educating ourselves and dropping judgment about our thoughts and actions can be a very expansive space to have. Okay, so make yourself available for such education, for such spaces, and please drop judgments. Drop judgments. Make space for honoring your compulsive choices. Understand that they come from the kind of environment you have grown up in, the kind of inherited ancestral patterns you have had in your body. Everything that you are doing or thinking, it comes from somewhere. So you don't have to judge yourself for anything. And bringing curiosity and willingness will change everything. Sometimes when we are from that, operating from that no judgment space for ourselves, and it happens with me all the time, that some such relevant content will appear on my Instagram and Facebook, and I will just go and click on some video and some post, and the kind of video I will come across will be something exactly what I needed in that moment. However, if I am in a judgment zone, I might not even open my social media, and even if I do, I will not open that video. So this is the kind of difference that comes up when we are able to just come from a no judgment space. We will automatically look at things that will help us. Okay, does this make sense? Any one of you can just tell me.
Yes, Shruti, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Kareen and Shreya. Thank you. Okay. So yeah, so this is where I would like to actually end today's class. Okay. And I would again repeat that the main idea is to drop judgment. And dropping judgment is as simple as having an intention and telling yourself that I choose to drop judgment. Okay, we don't know how to choose in that moment with something else, but I can drop judgment. So please take this as one of the major things, and I request some of you, okay, to tell me what was your biggest takeaway from this class, or if you have any questions. Okay, at least some of you, I would love to know your takeaway, and just speak. Okay, maybe just raise your hand or unmute and speak.
My biggest takeaway was not to be judgmental, but out of curiosity and willingness, observe your actions, what you did, and reflect upon them, and come out with a wise decision, with a wise output. Like, okay, this is what I did. I don't blame myself. I don't judge myself, but I'm learning. It's an experience for me.
Yeah.
And I learned better. Yeah, that was the best thing. That everything is good, everything is beautiful, but this really affected me, and I'm going to apply this on myself. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Anyone else would like to share their takeaway for today?
Thank you, Shruti. It was a really very nice session, and it was very insightful. For me, main takeaway was the generation of curiosity instead of and letting go the judge. That thing was very interesting. But as women, it is it not important for us to judge, because it helps us in alerting us sometimes, or it can also help us in this whatever past we are carrying, that richness of the experience. It could help avoid many things which we faced in the past. So is judgment not a kind of beneficial thing here?
No, I'll tell you why. Okay. So there is a judgment, there's a difference between judgment and analysis. Okay, Aparna? There's a difference between being intuitive and sensing something and making a decision out of your intuition. And there is a difference in making a decision out of your judgment.
Okay.
There's a lot of difference in the two spaces. Okay. And there is a lot of difference between judgment and analysis. These are two very different things. Okay. So think of these three things as different things. Judgment is different. Intuition is completely different from judgment. And we can find ourselves, getting confused between the two. However, how you feel in your body is your best example. If you are intuitively doing something, your body will feel light and expansive. However, if you are operating from a space of judgment, you will feel very low, tired, maybe exhausted, and you will know the space you come from. So trust your body in those times. How does my body feel? Okay. Make sense?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, all of you, for being here. I know it's a Sunday, and just so glad and honored to share this space with all of you. I hope this helps you. Please apply. Just drop judgment for whatever the hell you are thinking, whatever you are experiencing. Drop judgment is the first step to, transition. Okay. Thank you so much.
Shruti, last question, if there is time, can I ask?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
If, for example, I dropped judgment and I looked at the whole situation. Maybe I was mad at somebody or angry at somebody. And then I understood it, observed it willingly and with compassion. And then I came to know it was my fault. Yeah, I should say sorry to that person. So it is fine. Yeah, to go and just say sorry that what I said.
If that is your insight, okay, if that is something that you feel is coming from that whole experience, you can do that. Sometimes it is about just forgiving ourselves. Sometimes it is about forgiving someone in my heart and not maybe to their face. So the form is something that you can decide, okay? That's very unique to each one of us. And we operate in very unique ways. However, it can be anything that you feel is right for you. Go with that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Shreya. Yeah, do apply. Thank you, Disha. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So I'll take your leave.
Shruti. Thank you. That was a good time to hear all of that.
Thank you. I'm glad. Okay. Wishing all of you all the best. And I'm sure all of you have already dropped judgments. Thank you.
Thank you.